All right. We're back. We're back. We're live. Here we are again. Welcome back, everyone. All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and generals. Let's get to the money. You got this. Have confidence in yourself. Love that. Love that. ¿Qué pasa, chico? ¿Qué pasa, Alejandro? How's everyone doing? How do we wake up this morning? We wake up all right? Bonjour. Morning, morning, morning. How long did it take me to become profitable? I've been trading for about almost 11 years now. I was been profitable for the last about 4.5, 5. So, it's a long time, man. Wasn't overnight. I think a lot of people think it's an overnight occurrence. That it doesn't take hard work and a lot of struggle, a lot of pain, but that's the ultimate goal, right? Brant, welcome. Thank you for supporting the streams, my friend. Appreciate that. Where am I from? I'm from Long Island. Long Island, New York. So, big day. Yes, I am always live in the voice chat, and I am the only one talking. Correct. That is correct. So, big day. The market is right back within the channel that we spoke about yesterday. So we had that nice downside move yesterday, which if you guys caught some of that, well done. There was a nice moment of action there that we could absolutely trade. AMD puts we took yesterday with the group, those were really nice. Some of our put swings worked out fantastic. However, the NASDAQ, the ES, were able to reclaim some very big levels, and we are right back within the channel. And I'm not surprised one bit, right? The market likes to remain in balance, right, before major economic events. So you had a little flash of downside yesterday, which was a great trading opportunity, but it was nothing more than that, right? Yesterday's move is meaningless. It was nothing more than a trading opportunity. That's all it was. Trading opportunity, trade the downside, understand that the market's probably going to become balanced before FOMC, take your profits, don't hope and pray for the next 30% downside on the market, stop trying to guess when the market's going to tank, right? If you got that downside yesterday, you're a profit taker, and that's it. That's all it is, right? So that was yesterday. We're back within the channel. We'll talk about that today on the NASDAQ ES. Of course, the likelihood of the market giving us a real nice move before 2 o'clock today is very low. And this actually might be the day, right? This might be the day where I finally just do not trade, right? Because I am not interested. Once I show you where the market is, you are going to understand why I just don't have interest in this morning. It's going to be, maybe there's some individual stock setups we can find, which I will be looking for. But this market is right in the middle of a channel, waiting and holding into FOMC. It's just not an ideal situation by any means. So could there be some action later afternoon today? Absolutely. Could there be some action tomorrow morning? Absolutely, right? Tomorrow might be one of the better trading opportunities of the last few weeks after FOMC. So we'll get started. We'll go over some technicals. We'll go over some levels. We'll get ourselves prepared as much as we can into this major event. Once again, guys, traders are not made on, right? This is not the day that you walk in and say, this is the day I get rich. I can't wait to trade insane FOMC volatility, right? You got to find consistency in your trading, right? And so every day that I walk into the market, I'm not looking to trade FOMC volatility, right? When I come into the market every other day but today, it's the same strategy, it's the same levels, it's the same, ideas off certain levels, the consistent thing, the thing I can repeat, the thing I can do over and over again, the thing that I can continue to look for and try to be profitable consistently, right? Today is an outlier. It's the shiny object. It's the thing it's the siren in the water, right? The siren in the middle of the ocean that's calling you, hey, jump into the ocean with me. Just be careful, right? I know some of you out there are experienced. You know how to manage your risk. You know how to trade with proper risk management. You are able to take advantage of volatility like today because you understand how to manage your risk. You understand when you could be wrong. There's another set of people which I have to talk to, right? Which I have to look out for. That's just who I am, and that's my job here. There's a whole nother set of people, another set of traders that don't know how to manage their risk. Walk into a day like today, look at Twitter, look at Instagram, see people say how they're going to get rich today, and they just blow up their accounts. So don't be that guy, okay? If you know how to manage your risk, if you know how to trade FOMC, if you've done it before, don't let me discourage you. But for the people out there that need a little bit of structure in their trading, today's not the day to be going, to start clicking your mouse everywhere you can. Okay, so press that like button if you guys could. We got 1,100 people here, 300 likes. Let's get that ratio going. Press that like button if you guys could. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Let's get started with the schedule. September 20th, 0920, economic earnings calendar. I'll pull up the economic calendar real quick, even though you guys should all know what is on the economic calendar. If you do not know today is FOMC, if you are not aware of when it is, if this is the first time you're hearing of this, you need to pay more attention to the market, right? Let me just be brutally honest with you. If you are not aware today's FOMC, if you're planning on trading today, if you are not aware of this event, if you have no idea what it is, you are not paying close enough attention to be profitable in trading, okay? So you need to understand the market events. This is a whole part of the market. You need to understand upcoming events, upcoming possible volatility events. Today's a big one. Federal Reserve interest rate decision and Fed Chair Powell press conference, okay? So 2 o'clock, you have I would call it a press release that comes out that gives us the information about whether rates will be increased, whether they will be decreased, or whether they will remain the same, right? That's at 2 o'clock. At times, there's a little bit of a volatility at that time. Now, between 2 o'clock and 2:30, it's like I'm trying to think about a good way to describe it. It's like this is perfect. It's like the eye of a hurricane, right? From 2 o'clock to 2:30, it's like you're in the eye of the hurricane. It's silent, right? The market's sort of just, everyone's on edge. They don't know what's about to happen, right? From 2 to 2:30, there's a little bit of volatility. There's very rarely an actual move to a certain direction. It's usually big up, big down, a lot of volatility, people chasing moves, people losing money, traders that are experienced, possibly scalping those moves. And then it's the eye of the hurricane for about 30 minutes, right? And then at 2:30, when Jerome Powell gets on the mic, he coughs for the first time. His tie is a certain color. He says the first word a certain way. Maybe the tone of his first word is a little bit wrong. The market starts moving, right? For no apparent reason, but it does. And then as it goes on, right, you get the Q&A. The Q&A is usually where the moves start to really occur. After Jerome makes his very generic points, his very generic same words every single time, the Q&A comes. Steve Leisman throws out a pretty aggressive question. Always love to hear Steve's questions. And then the market starts to move around, all right? So that's sort of the thing that's going to happen today, 2 to 2:30. Before 2 o'clock today, I just don't think it's your ideal trading, right? The market is 100% not going to move aggressively before 2 o'clock, right? Because it's just waiting. The market is simply going to be waiting until 2 o'clock to really get a real move. So just be careful before 2 o'clock today. The market's going to sort of be in standby, waiting for that 2 o'clock event. All right. Back to the schedule. Tesla 260, very key demand to be watching today. Definitely something I am watching. Sort of a trade idea for post FOMC. Definitely watching that. Nvidia 420, big level as well. AMD 103, another major level that rejected yesterday. Google is very, very strong. Google remaining very strong. And if we get upside on this market today, Google is definitely my top watch. Apple 177.50 held yesterday. Amazon with the beautiful 140 flush yesterday. We were holding puts on that. That was very clean. We'll look at that one. And then finally, Microsoft 330 key level today as well. So very interesting levels for sure. Some interesting charts today heading into this event. Let's prepare ourselves. Let's make sure we know what the charts look like, right? There's still value behind knowing what these charts look like before the event so that we can react, right, quickly to any volatility after the event. We can react. We can already know what we're looking at and not have to, look around and analyze at the time. We can react to our levels. We understand our levels. We're prepared. So let's do that. Here we go. So here's the NASDAQ, guys. And yesterday, what did we get? We just got a really aggressive flush right into 15,250. If you guys have been paying attention to the streams, You guys know we've been talking about this 15,250 demand below. This was that August 29th previous low that we've talked about on the channel in the past. This 15,250 right here, this 4-hour chart, right? You guys can see this right here. 4-hour chart. We have this 15,250 that runs across the market multiple times. Look at all these tests. We have a hold here. We have some rejections here. We have a hold right here, a hold right here, a hold right here, and a hold right here. 15,250, right? And that is exactly where we moved lower into yesterday. All right, let me go to the 15-minute chart here. Now, of course, right, this is not a self-promotion, but this is the value of looking at levels, right? So here's yesterday. This is a great example of how futures levels need to be paid attention to on your intraday trades, right? So here's yesterday in the Discord where I post updates on the market commentary, and this was yesterday around 11:09, right? NASDAQ update, 15,250, big demand on NASDAQ, possible hold level, right? And we need to consider removing any type of downside plays. We need to consider the possibility that that's 15,250 could hold as demand, right? And this is where we need to start removing our downside plays, right? 15,250. And so if we look back and see what happened yesterday, right? This message at 11:09 to the group yesterday, and this is not because I know magic or I am a wizard. It is simply just a demand level. And we have to trust the levels that we read. And so we can see right here, right? NASDAQ big flush right into 15,250 demand. And that was the end of the selling yesterday. And so after we held that level, what did we do that was very key intraday, right? What did we do that was very key intraday? This was actually probably the most important move of the day. Yesterday was right here, right? Right here. This was it, right? This hold back above the 15,340 around 3 o'clock yesterday, right? That was the key move. That was the key hold late day yesterday. We flushed, trading opportunity. We held demand, trading opportunity. We pulled back and we held right here, right? Look at this hold. This hold is important because you are back in the channel, right? And look at the hold in the pre-market after hours this morning, right? Right here. Bam. So the market, right? This is very common, right? You get a little move, you get a little overextension. Market wants to get back into balance before major economic events, and that is exactly what it did, right? Big overextension, nothing but a trading opportunity, and right back where it started, right? Right back where it's been for the last 3 trading days. So today, if you really have some kind of death wish, in my opinion, to trade at the exact center of a channel, right? This is the exact 50% retracement of this larger term channel, right? You are literally at the exact 50% retracement of supply highs and demand lows, right? That is the exact 50% retracement where you are trading at this very moment. So if you're going to trade today before 2 o'clock, I would wait for either a supply rejection, I would wait for a drop and a demand hold, right? I would only look to trade here or look to trade here. Those are the 2 spots that I would consider trades today, right? If we get one of those morning squeezes to the upside and we push right into this supply high, let's say we get a little morning squeeze right into 15,460, then sure, maybe I'll consider a little supply rejection play up here. Maybe I'll consider something up there. Or let's say we get an aggressive drop at open and we start to see the demand holds come in around that 15,340. Sure, I'll maybe look to play a little bit of a demand hold, but I'm definitely not going to just start trading in the middle of a channel. So let's see what happens there today. Before 2 o'clock, 15,460 above, 15,340 below, right? That's your sort of channel on the NASDAQ today. Now, just to sort of give you, that post FOMC idea, I'm not going to say that, it's all going to stay valid by that time, but I would say, if you are able to actually move above this supply on FOMC, this could be what leads to further upside. Now, the one thing I would make sure you're aware of today is the 20 and 50 SMA above, right? The 20 and 50 SMA above is what I would be cautious of. The 20 SMA on the NASDAQ futures is at 15,502, right? That is where the 20 SMA is today, 15,502. So if you do get the upside over 460 today, let's say you turn these previous highs into support, right? Let's say you turn this high right here. Let's say you turn Monday's highs into support today. Just be cautious longing into this 20 SMA right here, right? You got to be a little cautious of that 20 SMA above, okay? And if you get above the 20 SMA, you got that 50, right? That's your next level up towards that 50, all right? So 20 and 50 above, and then that 15, 460, 465 on the NASDAQ if you get upside. If you get downside today, right? Let's say you go down on FOMC, look for the break and retest under 15,340, right? You guys can see right here, 15,340, right there, and right there. So if you get a rejection, a break and retest rejection under this triple bottom low, right, then you're looking for that downside continuation. So the continuation moves are above Monday's highs or below, really, Monday's lows, right? That's really the extent of the channel and where you want the actual continuation moves to come in. It's this Monday, right? See this Monday right here? This is Monday right here. You have channel highs and channel lows, right? So you have Monday's lows, you have Monday's highs. So what I would look for if you want an actual continuation move is a break and retest above or below Monday's highs or Monday's lows. If you trade within the Monday's channel, then you are just going to trust this supply high and demand low, okay? Very clear. That's how I structure my days every day, watching the channels, watching the supply and demand levels, understanding where we could have reversals, understanding where we could see demand holds, and that is pretty much as clear as it gets on the NASDAQ today, all right? QQQ, you guys can see, same thing, right? Same exact thing. You can see right here, we have that 372 supply high, which is up here, right? Which is also at the 20 SMA, right? You can see 20 SMA, Monday's highs, 20 SMA, 372, right? Very clear supply highs. Watch out for that on the QQQ, 372, all right? Now the demand lows, I'm actually going to delete this line. Even though it is sort of important, you do have some demand around that 370, right? You can see right here, 370, 370, 370, right? But I would say the major level is definitely going to be the 369, 369, 369, 369, right? So the major channel is really 372 to 369. That's the channel on the Qs, right? You're looking for supply rejections, demand holds, or break and retest rejections of either side, or break and retest holds, break and retest rejections. So 372, 369 on the QQQ. Watch out for your 20 and 50 SMA above. 20 and 50 SMA on the daily chart. Daily 20, daily 50. Watch those above for potential rejections. All right, ES. So what did the ES do yesterday? Pretty much the same concept as the NASDAQ, right? And you can see we reclaimed key levels. After the aggressive downside towards that 100 SMA down here, we reclaimed key levels. We reclaimed the 44.85 into end of day, right? You can see right here, previous lows, previous lows, previous lows. We reclaimed 44.85 into end of day, and now we're actually reclaiming, right? Look at this. You're reclaiming this yesterday rejection point, right? Look how clear that is. You have previous lows, previous lows, previous lows. Look what the ES did off that level yesterday, right? 44.96. And shout out to Care Bear in the Discord. Care Bear called this out beautifully. One of the members, just a great call out. I can tell he's paying attention to technical levels. He said around this 9:45 time, watch out for that 44.96 retest rejection. And that is exactly the sexy, beautiful downside trade that was available yesterday, right? Look at this. This is ES pre-market lows at 44.96. What do you get early morning yesterday? A break under pre-market lows, right? What do you get 5 minutes into the market? A beautiful retest, and look at the wick rejection, right? You can't make that up. You cannot make that up. That is about as clean as it's ever going to get for you. You have a little bear flag, right? Little bear flag, huge wick off of previous pre-market lows, break, retest, bam. I mean, that is just, there's not much prettier than that, right? That's just insane, right? That's just insane. So really clean stuff there, right? That is just a beautiful break and retest of pre-market lows yesterday on the ES, and that was the trade of the day, right? And so shout out to Care Bear. Really good call out yesterday, and I think a lot of you guys nailed that in the chat. So either way, right? Why is that level important? Well, look at what it's doing now. You can see this was a previous low. This was that double top high from yesterday. You can see right there, right? And then look at what look at where you're holding this morning, right? Look at where you're holding this morning, 44.96 on the ES. So that is going to be a very key level today. Do not short back into 44.96, right? Why would we short back into 44.96? Why would we short back into a potential retest of this previous demand and a retest back into these previous highs, right? We're not going to be shorting into that level. Now, if the ES is able to break back under that level, right? If the ES was able to break back under that level and turn it back into rejections, then sure, we look for that downside into 44.85 again. But we'll have to see how that all sets up. Let's go back to the 15-minute chart, sort of take a larger look at this, right? So as of right now, you are above that 44.96. That's a very key hold, right? You're back above demand lows. You're back above demand lows. You're back above demand lows. You're holding demand lows, right? You're not shorting back into 44.96 demand lows. As of right now, it seems as though you might just trade within this channel, right? And channel highs come in around this 45.20. You guys can see right here, you got that 45.20, you got this 45.20 zone, and you have that 20 SMA above on the ES. You could also watch maybe this little high here around 45.10, right? You could watch this around 45.10, but I'm keeping my zones wide today, right? If the market goes up in the 45.10, right, let's take, for example, let's say the ES goes up in the 45.10 and rejects 45.10, right? I'll miss it. That's fine, right? I would rather short the more extended move into more major supply. I'm not going to be shorting into potential rejection zones today. There is a potential for rejections at this little high around 45.10, but I know I have much better odds or much better risk reward and much better edge up here at 45.20, right? 45.20 is more of a major supply in my eyes and also has that 20 SMA above right up here, right? 20 SMA, 45.20, that's really the major supply that I'm watching today. So ES, same exact thing as the NASDAQ, back within a channel, right? Back above 44.96 demand, back above 44.85 demand, and still below the 44.20 supply. So what do you do today? You either play the channel or you wait for it to break it, right? 20 SMA, 45.20. If you get above that 20 today, if that's the move we see, if we get strong market action, get above that 20, hold above it today, right? That's sort of your confirmation of potential upside, right? That's sort of that confirmation for potential upside. All right. So very nice. ES. SPY. Pretty much the same concepts here. It's 443. I'm calling it 443 to 445, right? You can see it right up in here. You can see SPY, previous lows, previous lows, previous lows, turned into rejections yesterday, and you are back above it now today, right? You're back above that 443. So you're back above demand lows. You're holding above it, right? So you are right in the middle of the channel. Again, right in the middle of the channel, right? So your guess is as good as mine, right? Your guess is as good as mine. If you are trading at the 50% area of a channel, you are basically in no man's land, right? This is no man's land, right in the middle of a channel. Your guess is as good as mine. Now, my guess here and my guess here have edge to them, right? My trade here and my trade here have edge, right? They have previous levels that I can trade off of. My trade here, good as a 50-50 coin flip, right? I have no interest in getting involved in here. All right, so what I'm going to look for today, SPY to push into that 445, look for that 20 SMA rejection, look for that 445 rejection. If we drop to the downside, I'll look for that 443 demand, right? That's also demand back here. You can see right here. This isn't just short term. 443 goes all the way back to here. 443, hold on a second. 443 demand goes all the way back to here, right? If we hold 443, if we do a little morning drop, if we hold this 443, I'll look for that demand play, right? That's all before FOMC. Post FOMC, right? Post FOMC, we'll look for a break and hold of the channel, right? We'll look for a break and hold below 443. We'll look for a break and hold above the 20 SMA. Okay? Very easy. Channel. All these levels are posted in the Discord. If you guys, if you want to get them in text format, you can join either the live trading community if you want. If you don't, if it's a little bit too much for you, you can join the chart Discord. This is the chart Discord. It says it down below. It's also the thing right there where it says get my technicals every morning. This is the chart Discord where I post every chart that we talk about in this live stream. So futures analysis right here every morning. Futures analysis every morning. Technicals on individual stocks, and then the SPY and QQQ every morning. So if you guys want to get these levels in the text format that you can refer back to intraday, make sure to go ahead and check that out. All right. Let's get into some stonks. Tesla, this is a very, very, probably one of the most interesting charts of the day for me and of the entire week, to be quite honest. This has caught my eye. And here it is, right? This is what has caught my eye on Tesla. You guys can see right here. If we look at this 4-hour chart, right, and we sort of let's just zoom into this recent 4-hour chart, and let's zoom in here. You can see that since the 18th of August on Tesla, you have done nothing but stair step to the upside, right? You have done nothing but stair step to the upside, right? Stair. You have, well, at least you have one here, really. But there's 1, 2, right? And now possibly 3, right? This is a stair-stepping move to the upside, holding previous highs as new lows, right? Look at this. Previous highs, new lows. Previous highs, is this new lows, right? Previous highs, new lows. Previous highs, is this new lows here at 260? Is this a break, a retest of previous rejection points? Is this a hold of the 4-hour uptrend? And is this maybe a little bit of demand that's stepping in around that 50 and 20 SMA below? Very interesting today. If you get the market to free up to the upside today, I love this Tesla long off 260. All right. Stop under 260. Stop under these wick highs. Stop under that channel, right? If you get upside on the market, right? If you get upside on the market and this holds 260, this is an absolutely interesting little break and retest of 260. Now, same thing goes to the downside, right? Same thing goes to the downside. If you get a break of uptrending channel, if you get a break of a 4-hour uptrending channel, if you start to reject 260 today, that could be an equal nasty downside move as well, right? If you break this 4-hour uptrending channel, that's been in place since August 18th, right? And you crack that channel, that could also be a very aggressive downside trade on a weak market today. So I think Tesla is definitely setting up for some opportunities here. You either have this break and retest of 260. Obviously, FOMC will give us the real move. Will give us the insight in which way we're looking here. But 260 demand held very nicely yesterday. If we go to the 5-minute chart, you guys can see here, we dropped lower, right? Yesterday on Tesla, near that 260, we held up very nicely, and we continue to hold, right? We'll have to see, right? We'll have to see. That's what we do. Who cares what people say, right? Who cares what whoever AI is, is it Al Brooks? I don't know. It doesn't matter, right? Watch the level. How you know where Tesla goes is 1, see the price action off FOMC today, and 2, see if Tesla remains 260, right? If Tesla remains above 260, then it's possible that it continues higher, right? If Tesla breaks 260, then you look for the downside, right? That's how you trade, right? You don't trade off what someone says. You don't trade off what I say. You can use the levels that I watch, right? You can watch these levels because these levels are not, right? The levels on the market are not subjective. Someone's opinion that you hear on the internet is subjective. It is subjective to their overall delusion, their greed, their personal bias, right? That's not, you don't trade off that, okay? The levels that we talk about on these charts, these are subjective. These are not subjective. These are what is on the screen. This is what the market is calling for, right? This is on the market. Everything you hear about personal opinion, subjective, bias, they probably have some kind of underlying reason, right, for saying that. I don't talk about where I think Tesla should go to 200 because the future of electronic vehicles is so ridiculous and this and that and all this bullshit. No. 260, watch the level, right? That's what matters. If it holds 260, you look for upside. If it breaks under 260, you look for potential downside. And that's it, right? That's it. That's all that should be in your head. Anything else, any kind of outside source, outside information that you're trying to trade off of, waste of time, right? Waste of time, okay? 260, watch that level. If it holds, look for that potential break and retest. If we break below it, of course, FOMC will influence, right, where we go. Influence where we go. And I don't know if it's actually Al Brooks that he's talking about, so let's not all gang up on Al Brooks in the chat, please, because I could be mistaken there. Whatever, and let's just leave it at that, okay? The overall concept that I'm getting across here, it's not to call out someone, it's not to get call someone out. It is the fact that we need to stop trading off of other people's information, other people's biases. We need to trade off of levels on the stock market, the levels that are apparent on the market, okay? That's what we need to read and trade off of, right? It could be anyone's, right? Anyone's information. But we need to trade off the market, okay? Nvidia, right? Look at this on Nvidia. Look at this 4-hour chart on Nvidia. Nvidia, yesterday, we moved to the downside, and where did we hold, right? Where did we hold? 420 demand right here. Major 420 demand hold on Nvidia yesterday. If we go to the 5-minute chart, there was a wild candle yesterday on Nvidia. I don't know if it was a real candle, but it definitely went right to 420, right? It went right to 420 and got quickly bought up off 420. So that 420 demand down there is going to be real heavy, right? And so we can see that 4-hour chart. Look at this 420 level. 420, 420, 420. Big level below at 420, right? So we know that. Now, if we go to the 30-minute chart, what do we see here, right? What do we see here? What are the levels that we're going to trade off of? Well, we definitely know that we have previous lows here, we have previous lows here, and we have very clear rejections here, right? So what has Nvidia done, right? Why did I swing trade Nvidia puts yesterday? Well, I swung Nvidia puts yesterday because we were stuck under a previous double bottom low that turned into a triple top high. And I profited off the downside move yesterday very nicely. Now, today, you are right in the middle of this channel. So the trade is over, right? There's no trade here. Now, there is a trade once we retest some of these levels, right? If Nvidia pops here, we look for that supply. If Nvidia breaks down to 420 again, we look for that demand, right? So the trades on Nvidia are not there right now, but there's definitely a channel to be watching here. You can see 420 on Nvidia, right? And 443, 445 on Nvidia to the upside. We can clearly see the channel. We know the demand below. We know the supply above. And we just simply wait for one of these to hit, right? That is, I think, one of the turning points in my career. And I hope maybe some of you out there that have actually adopted some of these strategies, adopted some of this mindset, right? Just don't trade until it gets into one of your zones, right? Just don't trade until it gets into one of your zones, right? And that's, once you get a stock that hits your zone, you know that your risk to reward is great. You know that you should have confidence. You should understand that you're getting into a level that you can trade off of, right? And so if you see Nvidia start to push up into your red zone, start to look to see if there's some rejections up there. And if so, you're trading off a great level and could potentially look for that short side play, right? If it moves to the downside, look to see if you can curl off that 420 demand. If it's nowhere near that, right, don't get stuck trading in this no man's land, right? This is where people lose money. This is where impatient traders lose money. That's just a simple fact that's just a fact of the matter, right? That's what happens. AMD. Here we go. So why did I trade AMD yesterday? This goes back to the exact thing I just talked about. AMD started to push higher near my red zone, right? And you guys can watch my video yesterday. I thought it was a very good video. We have some psychology in that video as well as live trades on Tesla and AMD. And so yesterday, AMD was pushing higher into my red zone. So I knew, hey, I know my red zone supply. I know there's potential for downside off that level, right? And so let me start to build a position here. Right? It's starting to get close to where I want to trade it. So you got pushed yesterday into 103. You rejected, right? You went up again. You rejected, right? So today, I actually am holding very light position on AMD overnight. Looking to see if I can trade the rejections of 103, right? Yesterday afternoon, I got back in some AMD puts towards that 103 supply again, and I'm looking for that fade back down into the demand lows, maybe towards 199. We'll see, right? 199 level below. We'll see if I get that. However, right, like I talked about in my video yesterday, I'm okay with this trade, right? The reason I'm okay with this trade is because you have a nice push to the upside into that supply. I know where my risk is, right? I know where my risk reward is. I know I have to stop out if it gets above this 103. And so it just keeps it very clean and structured. So today, what I would be watching, AMD 103, AMD 100. Keep an eye on that 3-point range today. Google, why do I see a shitload of lightning bolts in the chat? Okay, yeah. Let's start getting these guys out. Tashumbi, wake up, man. Your time is here. Your time has shined. Everyone who wrote a lightning bolt, get them out. And if you write a lightning bolt from this point forward, get them out. I don't care who it is. Vaulted, out. Goodbye. PMP JCD, just vault it. Go fuck yourself. Honestly. Volt Army, get them out. Oh, here we go. We're really getting spammed. Holy shit. Oh, we're really getting spammed, huh? What a bunch of jerk-offs. All right, I need a mod. Margin call. Actually, No, you know what? We're all right. Margin call, you're up next if I need you. All right, let's continue. Let's continue. Google. So, run the ads. All right, Google. So, 137.50. 137.50. So right here, you guys can see Google has been holding this level very well, right? Look how well we have been holding this level. You guys can see we have been maintaining this 137.50 level very, very strong. So, in my opinion, Google is nowhere near short, territory. This is sort of like the stock that I just do not want to short. I just don't have interest, right? Because you can see the overall strength on Google, right? And so if we get upside today, this is where I really want the upside. This is really what I'll be targeting, right? I will be targeting Google upside if we see upside on the market, because I can see, look how well Google has turned this 137.50 level into demand. Very clear. Previous highs, lows, 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 and lows, right? Look at this quadruple bottom at 137.50. So if I see market upside today, right, I'm looking for that break and retest of upside, right? I'm looking for that break and retest above 140 for that continuation. So that's very much a watch today. 140, keeping an eye on that. Hold on. Margin call. Your time is now. Every lightning bolt, go to town, my friend. Go to town. Your time is here. All right. So 140, break and retest, right? Keep an eye on that today on Google. Strong upside, right? Strong upside off that quadruple bottom, 137.50. And we have that supply up at 140. Break and retest of 140. Absolutely a watch today if we see Google upside, okay? If we see Google upside. Apple. So, Apple, you guys can see right here. So 177.50, right? You can see right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Look at those sort of reactions at that 177.50. Margin call. I didn't ask you to just call them out. I'm asking you to block their messages, man. All right, let's just move on. Let's just move on. Why do people do this, man? Why do people do this? Who knows how to block people on in chat? Who has an idea of how to use YouTube? Who else do I trust here that comes here often? Trade with Hamza, morning coffee, stay awake until FOMC. Thank you, Trade. I appreciate that, Hamza. Love you, man. All right, let's just move on. I'm gonna chat has been minimized. Best of luck, my friends. Good luck with all of the lightning bolts and everything that's being said. I am not looking at another message on the chat. All right, so let's continue. 177.50 on Apple. Watch this level today. You guys can see right here. 177.50. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very important levels. Yesterday we held above it. Now today we're just going to be monitoring this channel, right? Between 181 and 177.50. 181 and 177.50. So we're going to look to see if Apple moves lower into 177.50. Do we get a hold? If Apple moves into 181, do we get a rejection, right? That's what we're looking for on Apple. 181 rejections, 177.50 demand, all right? Very key levels. Amazon. So today, I'm going to be looking to see if Amazon can push back into 140. Yesterday, as we talked about yesterday on the live stream, we talked about that 140 rejection. Now we can see yesterday a beautiful, just a insane downside move off 140 yesterday. Sick downside. So today, what am I going to look for? I'm going to look to see if we trade back into 140, what happens, right? If we trade back into this 140, do we see another potential rejection there? So for me today, it's all about Amazon 140. Keeping an eye on that level today on Amazon, 140. Last one I got for you guys today is Microsoft. And I think, you could watch this level today on Microsoft to both sides. Microsoft 330. If Microsoft is able to reclaim 330 today, possible upside continuation. If Microsoft rejects 330, then I'm looking for that downside. So Microsoft, all about 330. That's the key level to be watching on Microsoft today. Keep an eye on that 330. You have the 20 and the 100 SMA below also holding up. All right. So let's go back into the futures real quick to wrap up the live stream. All right. Back to the NASDAQ futures to wrap up the live stream. You guys can see right here. We have 15,460. We have 15,340. We have a channel, right? And so please respect the channel. Please understand the supply and demand levels today on the NASDAQ futures. Same thing on the ES, right? ES, 4520 to 4585 or 4485, 4520. Respect the channel on the futures. Play off the futures levels. Use them as your friend, right? If you're above this level, I'm only looking for longs. If we're rejecting this futures level, I'm looking for shorts. Use the futures levels to guide your intraday decisions, okay? I hope that helped, guys. I hope that prepared you for today's FOMC. The thing I'll leave you with is understand that the market is in a channel. It will likely remain in a channel before FOMC. And please be cautious getting too aggressive before that economic event. That's really the best piece of advice I could give you. Be aware of it. Understand, right, that the channel is there and just trade it. Learn it. Can learning futures tighten options trading? So I'm back in the live. I'm pulling it up because I need to ask something and get some mods in the chat. It's finally come to that time, I think. Yes, learning futures is very important, right? I look at the futures all day, every day. They guide my decisions for my futures trade or for my day trades on options. Steven, Dez, thanks again. You're like the DI on Full Metal Jacket for trading, and that's what I need. You now. Why the hell did you not pay attention to the break and read? I can hear you now. Steven, thank you, brother. Appreciate that $9.99. Who is here often that wants to someone raise their hand. Someone just say me. Someone that comes here pretty much every day that understands how to block people in the live streams. Margin, I don't need you to call people out in the chat, my friend. I just need you to press on the little buttons on the side and block them. Okay? That's all I need. I don't need you to block random people either. So, if we get any more lightning bolts, Margin, you go to the little buttons on the side of the chat and you press hide from channel. All right? We're going to add some mods today, and then we're going to take away the responsibilities if things get out of control. Thanks to your live streams, I got funded for futures. Hell yeah, man. Congratulations. Congratulations. All right, guys, I added 2. Margin, give you another chance there. Winning loser, you got it as well. We'll go forward with that. Look, guys, pay attention to my screen. This is all you do, right? See the chat here? All right, see the chat here? Watch the chat with me, okay? That's what we're going to do. We're going to find a lightning bolt. Here it is. Here's Gerald. See this? See this little thing on the side? Press that. hide user on this channel. Bam. Gone. That's what you're going to do. Okay? Hopefully that helps. You just go to wherever you want to, wherever we get that lightning bolt, there. Okay? That's what you do. All right? Where's Ponzi? Yeah. Where's Ponzi? Ponzi's a good guy. We'll get him tomorrow. Fabir, thank you, brother. 1999. Appreciate you. We'll add mods as we need. We'll stop there for now, though. All right, guys. Thank you for all the support. Press that like button if you could before you head out. We'll add mods as we grow. Everyone's gonna get a shot. So we're cleaning it up. We're cleaning it up. As we grow, we gotta expand. So press that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you could, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Best of luck today. Be safe. Yeah. Hold on. Ponzi. Found you. There you go, Ponzi. Press that like button. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.